the video starts, make sure you follow our socials in the description and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Welcome back to the Amputee Podcast, people. Back again this week. I'm joined by guest co-host Ciaran Henshaw. It's now you're nearly on double hat-trick, aren't we?
Still waiting for the match ball, though.
I mean, I promised you that a while ago, and it's not.
I think it's my third hat-trick.
It's not 9 times.
9 times I think I've been on here now.
It's basically half your channel, mate. But yeah, thank you very much for coming joining me again.
My pleasure.
And we're here for a very special guest. Liam Burbridge is in the house. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited for talk about whatever we end up talking about.
Yeah, we were saying beforehand, like people who listen to this podcast quite a lot, we do go on many a tangent, so we'll try and structure it as best as we can. But you've travelled a fair distance to come here, haven't you? You've come from St Helens today?
Yeah, St Helens I'm from, and like I said, it took about an hour and a bit to get here, but it's worth it because, as I said when I first got here, any opportunity I get to speak about not only myself but my sport as a whole and the people who play the sport with me, it's really important to us to raise awareness, so I thank people like you for having us on.
Oh, mate, thank you very much for coming down to tell your story, and we are going to get into your story because it is, let's just say, a fascinating one. So we might as well start at the start then. So, for people watching at home, do you want to kind of introduce a little bit about what you do in your spare time? Because it's not professionally, is it?
So I'm an amputee footballer for Everton in England, and you are right, it's not a professional sport, so we're kind of classed as elite amateurs. There are some countries around the world who do play it professionally, mostly Poland and Turkey in Europe. They're both fully paid professionals. They have a professional league system, and they get full backing from the football associations and everything. So it's quite difficult for us as amateurs to try and bridge that gap and keep up with them when it comes to like European Championships and World Cups and things like that, because we all have full-time jobs and like things get in the way, but we try and keep as a professional lifestyle as we possibly can by, sticking to our training plans. We all love McDonald's and stuff like that, but we try and stay as professional as we can when it comes to nutrition, sports science, psychology, things like that. And, the programme that we do have at England, if you spent a weekend with us, you wouldn't even know that we're not professionals because...
Oh, I was watching some of the videos because you've been on a camp, haven't you, this weekend, and I was watching some of your training videos. Intense.
Yeah, and we've got we've got like a 25-member staff with us at all times when it comes to physios, nutritionists, analysts who like watch our footage back. They'll watch, say we're playing against Poland, they'll watch Poland and they'll put footage together and stuff. So it's a real professional setup, just without the professional.
You're going to say you're professional, but you're not.
Yeah.
But is that something that's being pushed then? To try and get it? Because you'd think the FA really would want to push something like that, wouldn't you? I think they would personally. But...
Yeah, so I do believe at one point, long before I was playing, it was the FA did, back the programme, but for whatever reason, the FA pulled out, and then luckily a couple of guys at the time decided that, this isn't going to be the end of amputee football. We're going to make our own programme, and that's when the England Amputee Football Association was born, sort of thing. So it is a charity, and, we rely heavily on donations and people's goodwill to keep going and stuff, but it is something that is in the pipeline.
Yeah, it's being worked on type thing.
It's especially over the past year or so, when we was at the World Cup last year, there was a representative from the FA who came to watch us and stuff. So
amazing. So they're definitely there. They're in the background, sort of watching.
Behind the scenes, these conversations are going on, but me as a player don't know too much about that.
Yeah, of course. So. I suppose it's all about money, isn't it? Well, you see sponsorships coming in many a form nowadays. But one for me at the moment is wheelchair rugby. Rugby league has just gone from 0 to 100 by Sky Sports just taking over.
Yeah, I watched wheelchair rugby for the first time last year when it was on the World Cup, because they had the men's, the women's and the...
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah. It's such a good sport because it's something so different to what you're used to, and they just hammer each other.
Yeah.
They just batter each other. It's great.
I suppose people have that same reaction when they see us with crutches, do you know what I mean? But we're just used to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, of course. So why do you reckon that places like Turkey and Poland, why do you reckon they are professional and the rest are not? Do you reckon they're just ahead of the time? Is it more need for it? Are they on TV? Or?
There's a couple of reasons that I think, and these are my own views, so this is my own belief, but one of the reasons I think is that they take great pride in the amputee football teams being the best, because, no disrespect, the mainstream football teams are not the best, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another one of the reasons I think personally is because, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'm wearing a prosthetic leg, so me being below knee amputee, I don't really use crutches when it comes to day-to-day, do you know what I mean? So in these lesser off countries, they have no other option to use crutches day to day. So when it comes to playing sport on crutches, they naturally have a bit more
second nature, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I've seen it. You went to Poland recently, didn't you, for the Nations League?
Yeah.
And I think I've seen one of your videos. It was in like a stadium, and you were saying it's crazy because over here you're playing AstroTurf, and like they have stadiums for it, and it's like a different world over there, isn't it?
Yeah. So the league in Poland, they have like 10 teams in their league, and same as us, each club is affiliated with a.
Oh, so you have like Poznan, places like
Warsaw,
yeah.
And each league fixture they play as like a mini tournament, and like when we was at the Amp Cup for Poland, where we've just been, and they have like fireworks going off for big presentations and everything. They have that at every fixture. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Doesn't surprise you European fans, though, does it?
No.
You see Polish fans and German fans like on the TV in football, and they are mental, aren't they?
Yeah.
Seen them doing basketball?
No.
Oh, get involved in basketball. So basically, because a lot of basketball and football teams are now tied, so Barcelona is first one that comes top of my head. But your Turkish teams, again, Turkey, they're just mental for sport. But so the Turkish teams are very big on basketball as well. So if you go to like a Besiktas game, the whole of the football ultras are at the basketball game.
They are for the kids' games as well, though.
They are, yeah.
I've seen like under 12 games with like 10,000
it's like a full-time
fans
job
there.
to be like a European ultra.
Mental, though. Under 10s games like 20,000 fans there, and it's like ridiculous.
But you know, like a couple of years ago, well, more than a couple, 2017, the European Championships was in Turkey, and England got to the final, and they played at Besiktas Stadium, the Amputee European Championship final, in front of 45,000 fans.
That's mental,
and they literally played it as a curtain raiser for one of the professional games. And
that is mental.
Imagine the atmosphere at that game as well.
Champions League final should have been at Besiktas Stadium this year. It's so central towards the city. It's such a good stadium. It's mental as well, because you don't realise the scale of like sort of like place like Istanbul compared to
here.
Oh,
busiest place I've been in my life, honest to God.
Traffic shit in it.
Yeah,
Isn't the traffic awful?
Went there last year, and it's the craziest place I've ever been.
It's like I got a taxi from him, so I went to Champions League final, and I got a taxi at like 10 o'clock. Cause he was just I get off a flight. I was like, right, just get me into anywhere, taxi scare, wherever. And literally, like, my taxi driver pulled out on a police car, and I was in the back thinking, oh shit, what's happening here?
Out in the seat.
And then he beeped him.
They don't care over there, mate.
He beat a police car.
They don't care over there.
And I was like, what's happening here?
Getting locked up before game.
Hey, he was a great guy though. He was telling me all about Besiktas and all sorts. So I was like, what in this one?
There's a few all in close proximity as well, isn't there? Because there's Galatasaray,
Fenerbahce and Besiktas. I asked him, are you Galatasaray or Fenerbahce? And he went, neither. I went, okay. great conversation. So sort of like, what does your sort of like day-to-day sort of life sort of revolve around? So when we talk about like your schedule, so is it currently off season for your league?
Yeah, so we've finished our league now. It kind of runs, because there's not as many teams in the league and stuff, it runs a little bit different to the mainstream league. Like, so we are in an off season at the minute, but as you say, with my post, we've kind of just started our campaign for the Euros next year. So
it's all the way through. So how does your sort of like, so do you work full time as well?
Yeah, I'm a residential care worker, so.
Nice. So do you, because we've had a few sort of semi-pro footballers on, and they usually train sort of like twice a week, games on a weekend. Is it the same in your sort of world?
Yeah, it's similar. So we only train once a week with Everton, and we train once monthly with England, but it's a full weekend's training camp, so we'll go on Friday and come back on Sunday, and for that whole weekend it's just 100% concentrated on training, preparation, analysis, all that sort of thing. But they also give us a programme what we have to do at home, so we have a polar heart rate sensor where we have to strap to ourselves. It links to the system, and
so I'm expected to checking on you.
Not getting
out of this now.
No sneaky Big Macs.
If you're not going to the gym and doing your sessions, they are on your case. Like, so even though we only train together limited times, there is a lot
some
of
structure in it. When you think.
How many teams are there in England then that sort of like have an amputee?
So there's only 4 teams at the minute. There's Everton, Arsenal, Portsmouth, and Chelsea. So, but last year we did have 8 teams. There was Newcastle, Brighton, West Brom, and Peterborough. But what happened was basically in England it was an inclusive league, so people was allowed to play on the prosthetic legs and things like that, because the international rules of amputee football are that you have to play on crutches.
Crutches only.
Outfield players have to play on crutches, and the goalies are missing an arm. So, but they're locked inside the penalty area, so it's not like the goalie with 2 legs can just run the full. Yeah, but they changed it when we came back from the World Cup last year. I think, again, this is only my opinion, but I think they looked at the other nations around the world and saw what they was doing and decided for going forward that they'd change the rules from being an inclusive league to 100% amputee football league. And although that hasn't paid off immediately, because ultimately a lot of teams dropped out because they didn't have enough players and things like that, there are teams like Newcastle and stuff who have got plans to come back next season. So
that's great.
So eventually you're going to build a way back up, aren't they?
Yeah,
And it'll be better overall then.
Yeah.
Well, it's location specific, because that's the problem with it not being a professional sport.
Yeah.
You can't say, for example, if like you can't like if Everton gave away, like you'd have to travel miles and miles to play.
Yeah, so I'm really quite lucky that Everton's like 20 minutes away from where I live. Do you know what I mean? But there are lads around the country who's just not accessible for them to get to training, games, things like that. So
are they still involved in the England squad though, or is it? Or do you have to be sort of like playing for a club to play for England?
I think you're supposed to be associated with a club, and all the lads who. Maybe the lads who are in England now who don't have a club at the minute, they're still expected to carry out the same amount of training and stuff like that, you know. But they have worked it around. I don't think there's many lads who are in England who don't currently have a team, because sometimes what they'll do is even if you're not close enough to go training, because they play all our fixtures in Crewe, so I don't know if you know where Crewe is, but
it's not far. About an hour from here.
They've classed that as a central location in the UK. The Southerners moan and say it's not central, but
did you say Portsmouth's in your?
Yeah.
And you have to travel to Crewe, which is an hour outside of Manchester.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So what they'll do is if there's a lad who's nowhere near Portsmouth, but he can get to Crewe, he can basically turn up and play for him without the need of training with him. Do you know what I mean? So
I suppose that's kind of the best way. You need to work. You need them workarounds, don't you? Turn day, like you want to grow with sport.
It's a hell of a trek, that, isn't it, from Portsmouth to.
And also, like, there's not like millions of amputees, is there, in England? Like, that's another thing. You need to. You're limited by how many amputees there.
I think if there's one thing I've learnt is I think there's more amputees than you might realise, but it's trying to encourage them to play on crutches.
Having that confidence type.
Not
thing.
everyone wants to play on crutches, because I mean I'm the same. Before I started playing amputee football, I was a bit ignorant and I had the attitude of, well, I don't need crutches. Do you know what I mean? So why should I use them? And I do believe, especially when it comes to below the knee amputations, a lot of people probably do share that opinion, but it's literally changed my life playing on crutches. It's the best thing. I can't imagine
not playing
sport on my leg ever again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So how about? So I saw you do a bit of running as well, because you did like 10k. Do you? I'm assuming that you've got to run on like a prosthetic leg. Do you have like a running spike?
So I do have a running blade, but I've not used it yet, so I've been a bit lazy on that front. I literally got a running blade at Christmas last year and I've not used it, but that's because I've been 100% focused on playing on crutches, because it's so difficult playing on crutches at first, you know, when it comes to moving sideways, backwards, turning, things like that on crutches. And if you ever watch some of our games, you will see me on the floor now and then, because I'm still learning. But, you know, that was one of them things that, especially at the beginning of this year, when I realised that, right, I'm in this England team now and, you know, I've got to push on and try and progress, that was one of the things that I promised myself, really, that I was going to spend more time on my crutches. And I used to do for TikTok and stuff, I used to do videos doing keep-ups with my leg on and stuff like that, and I've just stopped doing all that now. You know, I still make content, but not on my leg anymore, because I felt like in a way it was holding me back, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Of course,
yeah. So I wanted to actually mention that as well, because that's how you were found, weren't you, by Everton? One of the players found you on TikTok?
Yeah, I was, like I said, just posting videos, playing football with my leg on and stuff like that, and then Jamie Oakey's name is, he'll love that little shout out.
Little shout out, don't we?
He just sent me a message and was like, I know you don't know who I am, but why don't you come and try Amputee Football with Everton? And the first time I went down, I actually played on my leg for the first time, because I was really nervous, not only to play football, but like I played sport all my life, but I hadn't been in a sporting environment for like 8 or 9 years since losing my leg. So I played on my leg for the first time, and then once I realised that if I was going to play for England, I'm not allowed to use my leg, I just literally played on sticks ever since.
In terms of the England squad then, is it literally you get a phone call, like similar to the professional game? Because I know that when the England players now, the senior team, you get phone calls, don't they, from Southgate? Is that a similar kind of thing? You just get a random phone call and
so
you're in, or?
Christmas 2021, I got an email from the head coach then, Owen Coyle. You might know of his dad, Owen Coyle, actually. He's managed Bolton. He's managed
of course, yeah.
So his son, Owen Coyle Jr., was the head coach of England Amputee Football at the time.
Class.
And I got an email from him saying I was invited for the Next Gen squad, which is the development squad for the England national team. And then I was in the development squad, and I was pushing on, I was trying my hardest, because I fell in love with this game, do you know what I mean? So I was literally putting me everything into it. And then I spent the first 7 or 8 months in like a middle ground between the development squad, and then the first team would say to me, like, you know, we're a couple of players short, come and train with us. Yeah. So I was really enjoying that. And then literally 2 weeks before we went to the World Cup in September last year, Owen Coyle phoned me and was like, well, he sent me a message at first and was like, I really need to speak to you. And I was thinking,
what have I done?
What have I done?
What have I done wrong here, for God's sake?
Yeah, what have I done? And I'd got out the bath, I had a towel around me and everything. I was phoning him.
We weren't at FaceTime, Carl.
Well, I was phoning him, and he was like, "No, I need to FaceTime you."
Oh, and you're like, God's sake! You're out in your bathrobe. You've got your robe on.
Hair's
a mess.
And he was literally like, "How do you feel about coming to the World Cup with us?" And this was like in 2 weeks' time, and I was like,
"Wow,
you're taking the piss."
So how would you manage to? So obviously with your work, are they sort of very flexible with letting you kind of drop?
Yeah, so I was really lucky, because my mum was my manager at the time.
Oh,
so
nice.
I got off the phone to Owen, straight on the phone to my mum, and was like, you know, I'm going whether or not, like, do you know what I mean? I'm just telling you.
Sack me if you want, but I'm going.
I'm going to take you to
Be not for Christmas dinner, won't it?
Yeah. But obviously, because she's been there since the beginning, and, you know, like, she knows how important this is to me. So, I mean, like, she wasn't the owner, she was the manager, so she kind of, like, covered for me, sort of thing.
Yeah. You can kind of work your way around it, definitely.
It's not often you get Joe to go to World Cup, is it? So
definitely not. Yeah. Well, you've won quite a bit of silverware, haven't you, recently?
Yeah.
So you're coming off the back of winning the league with Everton, aren't you?
Yeah, so we won the league and the FA Cup with Everton this year.
Nice little double. Can't complain with that, can you?
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Not bad. So is it, because obviously Everton are quite similar to City, so we're both City fans, and City have a City in the community. Everton have got a very similar programme. So is that what it's kind of pushed through, Everton in community, or?
Yeah, it is. It's Everton in the community. All the teams are part of the community side. So even Portsmouth is Portsmouth in the community, and that's the way we play. So I think same with Arsenal, Chelsea. You know, although we are affiliated with these professional clubs, we're not actually like part of the pay system and stuff.
Of course,
like
because it's not professional sport, is it? So you got kind of, because we did a few football tournaments, didn't we, with United, and you didn't have a very good performance, did you?
Why'd you always do it to me?
I always have to bring it up. Our school
game.
was tied with United, so United are really good round here, and so was City, but City are more. It's more sort of like South Manchester, sort of like where City are based. But we were tied with United, and they're very similar. They put on sort of like open days, and then we trained at. Was it Carrington?
We went to Carrington, didn't we?
Yeah, we went to Carrington, and like it's very similar. Like it's obviously massive over here. So, with you being from St Helens as well, like what football team do you support? Because you're right in the middle.
Oh my God, man!
I was going to say, because you're very much in the middle, aren't you?
Yeah.
With
St Helens is one of them places where a lot of people either support Liverpool or United, because, like you say, it is in the middle.
It is right in the middle, especially when you've got. You've got Everton as well, like even Warrington, like places, and the amount of non-league clubs in and around.
Yeah. And City. You ever mentioned City there?
I know, but
where's Manchester? Right?
Yeah, but it's so. Obviously, with you now playing for Everton, have you got like an affiliation now to Everton where you're like, oh, they're my soft spot?
Want them to do well, type
first
thing.
Do you
know what? You'll probably like think I'm the worst football fan in the world for this now, but like I always joke and say I'm purple now, like I'm a mix of red and blue. Like
I think that makes sense.
I support Liverpool. I've grown up all my life supporting Liverpool, but you know what Everton's done for me. Yeah, what Everton's done for me, the opportunities that they've given me. Like, you know, we always talk about the World Cup and what we've won with England and stuff like that, but if it wasn't for Everton giving us them opportunities, would have never been selected.
I think I agree. It's same with like majority of professionals. Like the one for me, like because I know quite a few people from Stockport who know Cole Palmer. So Cole Palmer was a United fan growing up, always have been, and now he's obviously played for City his whole life. So he's probably now got the same sort of affiliation where you can't not
Yeah.
It's work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you're obviously going to grow fond, especially if they do all these sort of things for
The
you.
class as well, you know, like when we won the league and the FA Cup, they had us at games with the trophy on the pitch at half time, and like when we went to the World Cup last year, because it's a 15-man squad, 6 of us was from Everton, so like Everton was chuffed at that, you know, because it's like
proud of it.
It's like nearly half the team from Everton, do you know what I mean? So
you mentioned Champions League as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
How does that work then?
Yeah, so the Champions League, we've qualified for the Champions League next year by winning the league.
Nice.
Portsmouth are actually playing, I think it's the weekend of the 11th, 12th of November.
Yeah.
They're actually going to Malaga to play in this year's Champions League.
Oh, that's class.
Because they won it last year, do you know what I mean? They qualified last
so
year.
you'll go next then?
Yeah, and it's basically like, if you imagine obviously the Champions League in mainstream football, it's like played over the length of a season, isn't it? So, but obviously because in amputee football we can't do that, we can't travel Europe.
Yeah, of course.
You know, all the teams get together, the winner of every league gets together, and it's literally like a weekend tournament. So
how many countries are there?
I think there's 8 countries in it this year.
8 countries, so
don't ask me name.
So do you know where you're going yet? To
No, it's not been announced yet.
Exciting though, isn't it? Knowing you've got that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got Malaga now,
Yeah.
like you could be looking like
In Blackpool next year.
You'll be glad to go.
But yeah, there's Turkey, Poland, Spain, France, Italy, England, and there's another 2 from somewhere, but
Knowing you've got that to look forward to.
It's got to be good, yeah.
That's class.
How does it work with, so is there like a World Cup sort of system with you playing internationally as well? Or is it just sort of Europe? Or?
Yeah, so there's a World Cup. We played in the World Cup in Istanbul last September, and we actually got knocked out in the round of 16 by Angola. But going back to the conversation we had at the beginning, all the African teams are quality, and again, I think that's because, you know, if they lose the leg tough, they have to make do with coaches and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, they're just athletes, some of them Africans, honest to God, they're brilliant.
They're really good. So who won it then? Who was...
Turkey.
Turkey
Are actually the current European and world champions.
Jeez, so no wonder they're not going to. No wonder they put money into it. You don't want to let that go, do you?
So if you remember that run Spain went on in like 2008, 2010.
That's Turkey.
That's Turkey right now.
Turkey with Spain. I mean, Turkey, we're half hearing that. We're the Spanish of amputee football. You can't complain with that, definitely. How does sort of the amputee football game work then? So how many players is it per side? Is it half an hour halves, or how does it sort of structure?
Yeah, so it's a 7-a-side game. 1 goalie, 6 outfield players. As I mentioned, the goalkeeper's missing an arm, but he's locked inside his area.
Yeah.
It's because it's 7-a-side. It's a smaller pitch. It's 25 minutes each half.
Nice.
Each team gets 1 timeout in either half, so you can call a timeout in the first half and you can call a timeout in the second half. It's roll on, roll off subs. You make as many substitutions as you want.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to mainstream football. There's a couple of differences, like we take kick-ins instead of throw-ins because we're using crutches with our hands, but again, I think that's a quality reel, you know, like you get it's as good as a corner sometimes.
Oh, definitely,
a free kick, you know, you get last minute of a game and you've got to throw in on the halfway line, you just lob it into the box.
No offsides. I think I've seen there's no offsides either.
No, there's no offsides, and for me as a striker, that's like the best reel.
I've seen some good goals that you scored as well, as step overs and
that's a little cheeky little back heel you did for the assist. I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But you know, like things like that, it helps to have good players around you, and the lad who scored the goal for that, Reece Ramsden, he's an incredible player. Like, you know, he's got to be one of the best players in the world, and you know, to have players around you like that, it makes my job easy. Do you know what I mean?
It gives you confidence, doesn't it, as well?
Definitely,
100%.
Yeah.
So, is it in the Paralympics as well? Is it not quite in there? Because there's blind football in there.
Yeah.
I think is there only blind football related to football in Paralympics?
I don't know.
Because they have the seated volleyball, don't they? They've got quite a lot of sort of like ball sports in there. So is the amputee football?
Amputee football's not in the Paralympics, and I think from what I understand is they're having a bit of difficulty trying to classify us because everyone's amputation's different. So as I mentioned, I play on sticks, and when I take my leg off, I've got quite a long residual limb, whereas there's some guys who are amputated at the hip. There's guys who've got like half the foot amputated, so their leg's that long they can stand on it. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone's different, aren't they?
I think finding that classification is proving quite difficult.
We've also got people who've got like club foot, for example. They technically could play.
That's the thing. It's called amputee football, but if you've got any sort of limb deficiency, you know, there's guys, and sorry if it sounds ignorant, but there's goalkeepers who like have an arm that doesn't work, so they're allowed to just tuck it inside the jumper
and play.
Oh, nice.
Play one hand. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, because I know a lad who plays for England physical. In cricket, they call it England PD because England physical ability. Because you're not going to have 11 people playing cricket all amputated.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to happen. So and he's got a club foot as well. Mate, he literally plays in the local leagues around here in the top division. He's just as good as everyone else. Really, really good. Perfect. Shall we have a quick break? I want to come back in part 2 as well, and I want to dive into the content side because that's how we originally found you. And like the life of a TikToker is a life to talk about, definitely. But yeah, we're back to part 2.
We do live stream sometimes just on your phone on TikTok on the England account, like when we're away and stuff, and we'll all set each other little challenges, like name 3 words that you've got to drop in. So
That's great. Do you know what I'm going to bring in on that? Because that is really good. Because I work, so my job's in sales, and I used to do a similar sort of thing where when we were on a call, so I used to do cold calling. That's how I started out, and I was so good at it. We set each other challenges where you'd have to say certain words, certain phrases, or you'd have to do like certain things on a call. I was my composure was great, like throwing in stuff like scandalous.
Yeah, flabbergasted was one of ours.
Yes, it's just throwing in random and trying to make it, because you got to make it seem like it's normal. Otherwise, you're a bit like, oh Jesus. So is that something that you choose to do then, like, as players or do you get told by the staff? Do you know?
Yeah, no, we don't get told again because like it's. You know, we're not professionals or anything. We don't get told, you have to do media duties. And there are certain lads who enjoy the media duties. They all say, I love it the most, but I'm not the only one. And there's lads who don't really enjoy the media, do you know what I mean? So they're not forced to do it, but there's some of us who just enjoy it, like, do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's great fun. Like, it's the best thing I ever started doing, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, it's a way to your creative like genes sort of flowing into your juices flowing. It's definitely so how did that sort of start then? Was it like a lockdown sort of thing? Because obviously TikTok became big over lockdown. Was that how you started?
Yeah, so we was in lockdown. It wasn't in the first lockdown though. In the first lockdown I wasn't really doing it, and then it was kind of like the beginning of 2021 where I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to start making content. And you know, because I get asked a lot of questions about my leg, about all different things. I didn't get asked about football at the time because I wasn't playing at the time, you know. So, but yeah, I just thought, why not? Like, and I enjoy watching content myself. There's like YouTubers and people who like I actually watch. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, well, I can do that. So
yeah, who do you watch like the most then?
You probably won't like what I watch. So I'm big into Call of Duty really, and I like watching gaming.
I'm huge into. I've just started getting back into the pro Call of Duty scene, but it's very American. Yeah. So do you watch like streamers, or do you watch like the pros, or
no? So I don't really watch CDL pros or anything like that. It's mainly Warzone I watch, and a couple of the FaZe ones like FaZe Swag, things like that. There's a guy called X-Bell who I really like, and there's a guy called Sally as a dog because his dog's called Sally, so his name's Sally. But I don't know, like sometimes I treat them like a podcast in itself, do you know what I mean? Like Beckham and Mrs. will go mad at me sometimes because I'll literally put a Warzone video on the telly and then I'm in the background doing the dishes or something like that, do you know what I mean? But
this is what I always do. So I'm certain I'm self-diagnosed ADHD. Like I am. I'm ADD. I'm one or the other because I can't not, like when I'm cleaning, like brushing my teeth, for example. I've always got a video playing. Like when I'm working throughout the day, when I'm at home, like I always have a headphone in as I'm
just
talking.
Looking to something.
Or I'm playing darts as I'm on a call. I always have to do 2 things at once. So I'm the same as you. I watch a CDL podcast, The Flank, with Zuma, and literally like 2 hours. You don't have to focus on it 24/7. You can just kind of watch it and kind of come back.
Do you know what I love? What you might like. Have you ever listened to Pulse Check?
No.
It's like a few of the Warzone pros, like,
yes.
And they literally have a full podcast just about Warzone, about the updates, what's coming in Modern Warfare 3, what's happening.
So me that. It's so me.
And it's literally like an hour and a half each time where they just talk about COD.
See, I've played the new beta for the new COD over last weekend. I loved it. I thought it was class. Yeah. So it's COD like the game that you play the most?
Yeah, literally. I play it too much, to be honest. And when I said before about long form content, like I'd love to like be a streamer, do you know what I mean? But I've just not got the like time to set aside. And plus sometimes like when I'm playing COD with my mates on a night and stuff, when it comes to live streaming, like, you kind of don't want to be watching what you're saying and reading chat and going, thanks for liking, thanks for commenting, that sort of thing, do you know what I mean? But
it is the time sort of aspect. Like I'm good friends with actually another Evertonian. He's called Lee, from Evolving Mindset, the charity, and so he's Football Manager streamer. So FM's like my number one game.
Yeah, he's big on FM, you are, yeah.
Love FM. If I streamed, it'd be FM. And he just literally streams like 2 nights a week, 1 night a week, and he'll just do like 7 till 10, and he's off his head. He's class. He's so good, Lee. But
I'm more of a FIFA player, me.
Yeah, well, I dipped my toe in FM really, but when I was losing, I liked the fact on FIFA that you can play the game and win. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when I was losing on FM and like I got all my tactics wrong and everything, do you know what I mean?
I tried FM as well, and not wrong. I think
you did a lot with your mates, didn't you? You did with your mates.
I mean, it's so in depth. It's brilliant, but is it too in depth? Possibly. FIFA, you jump on there, you chill out, you have a game, don't you? And it's done. FM's just pisses me off. I've
literally just had a text in from a mate talking about how many FIFA points that he spent on a match straight away. But the thing is about FM that I love, so I did an FM video that came out literally last week, previewing the new game. I love how you can either play it as streamlined as possible or as in depth. So I'm a very streamlined player. Training, coaches do that. Press conferences, coaches do that. Friendlies, coaches will do that. My coaches do everything and then I just do transfers, tactics.
They're on a match day, aren't you? Are you suit and tie or are you a tracksuit man?
Oh, I'm a suit and tie man.
I'm a tracksuit man.
No, you're a Tony Pulis.
I am. Cap on.
No, I'm a Sean Dyche.
What, bald?
I'm bald. I random out my face and I literally look like Sean Dyche.
Are you good at it though?
Yeah, I'm good at FM. I played FM for many, many years. I'm good at FM. But see, it's the only game I'm good at. COD. Shit, if I've not even got a 1K.
Yeah, I'm shit at COD.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I love COD and I play it so much. I'm not great. Like,
do you feel like? I feel like if I started streaming, I'd have to be good at it.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes some of the people I watch, I mean, like even they're really good, but they're not like demons out or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you get like. I don't know if you know like Joe War, like he's like the movement king and he's getting like 30-40 kill games and things like that, whereas there's some people I watch who like they're just funny and like they just the stuff they talk about is like funny, do you know what I mean? So I
mean the big one at the moment is Angry Ginger, isn't it? He's on FIFA. Like, Angry Ginger, like, he's alright at FIFA, like, he's good, he gets out of everything, but he's just a funny guy. I saw him at United at home last year. He was in the top tier and there was a lot of people giving him a lot of abuse because he's quite well known now, isn't he? And he was just sat there lapping it up. Like, he was having a great time. No, of course
he was at Burnley the other week, wasn't he? Did you see the clip to him at Turf Moor?
Yeah.
He was in the Burnley end when he played. Did he play United? They played United, didn't they? And he got removed from the stadium.
Yeah, my son, he's only 8. My son, his name's Liam as well, Liam Jr. And he got in a little bit of trouble at school, like, and obviously we sorted out, and when everything had calmed down and that, like, he found a clip of Angry Ginger on TikTok and he went, "Here, Dad, this was my teacher before," and it was going, "I've had enough, get out." I was like, oh my God, that's so funny.
It's mental out. So platforms like TikTok has just gone astronomical. Like Angry Ginger was like...
COVID's done a lot of it, hasn't it? Because people didn't have anything to do, did they? So for 12-18 months they sat at home in the back garden. Like, I can't stand Cal the Dragon. I despise him. But do you know what? Fair play to him. He's going kicking footballs at gnomes in his back garden.
Do you know what? I'm actually managing Cal the Dragon in a charity football match next year. Yeah, in February. I think it's in Leeds. I can't remember the name of the stadium, but it's not like a massive stadium.
That's mad.
Yeah.
So you're managing?
Yeah.
Who's on your team then?
We don't know yet. So because it's still in the... Cal's the only player who's been announced so far.
That's some announcement though, isn't it?
But to be fair, there's a non-league player from round here. It's called Coach Kane. Plays for Witton Albion.
Yeah.
I saw he did one of the charity games like a couple of weeks ago. Scored that trick. He scored from the halfway line. Yeah. Did you see the videos?
Yeah. He makes quality content as well though, Coach Kane. If it's the same one I'm on about, like
it will be. Yeah. He does a lot of sort of like training videos. So he does a lot of what kids can do at home. Do you know, like just simple drills with a football, stuff like that. Like he's big on TikTok as well, isn't he?
He is massive,
He's great.
No, do you know what it is with Cal? Fair play to him, like you say, he's sat at home kicking footballs at gnomes. He played in the Sidemen game, didn't he, last year?
He did play in the Sidemen game, yeah. Well,
so did Angry Ginge, to be fair, as well, this year. So,
it just shows what you can do. Your career got, is it 100k at the moment?
Just short of 100k.
That's a touchy subject.
I've literally been stuck on 98k since this time last year.
Is it over 3 million likes you've got?
Yeah, 2.8.
That's some going in it.
He knows his stats as well, which I quite like. So did you have like one video that just went exponentially crazy, or was it just a gradual process over time, over 2 years?
I think I had a few videos that went crazy at different points, and I think that's why sometimes not all my content does well. So like I'll do a video about like a day in the life and it won't do as well as some other videos, because I think what happened was again, my son Liam Jr., I did a video where he ran off with my leg. I said something like, if you don't be good, I'm going to take your Xbox. And he said, well, if you take me Xbox, I'll take this. Leg. And ran off with my leg.
Brilliant. I think I've seen that today, actually.
Yeah. And that was like 2.5 million views, 250,000 likes, and again, like a lot of followers from videos like that. And then now where I've reached the point where I'm trying to make serious content and like vlogging content and things like that, it doesn't necessarily do as well as the funny content, but I don't want everyone to just think I'm like this idiot who makes...
like a comedy character.
Yeah, like, because I'm not a comedian, do you know what I mean? Like, I do enjoy having a laugh and making funny videos and stuff, because, you know, that's just genuinely who I am. I see the lighter side of everything, but, you know, I do really want to crack the vlogging side of content.
It's hard though, innit?
Yeah.
It is so hard. So the TikTok algorithm is mental. I always find, because I've had some great stories from boxers, and I love boxing content on TikTok, like Parsons, people, I love it.
Parsons and Eddie are in a class, aren't they?
I love it. I mean, it gets mad views, and I've had some amazing stories told on it by world-class boxers, and they just get 500 views, and that's it, and it just like stops. Whereas I've had football, like for example, I had some Bury lads talking about Bury, 100k views, and I'm like,
how?
I don't get the algorithm.
Yeah, I've had some videos do quite well recently, like you mentioned the one where I did the vlog with my son when we went to Old Trafford to watch the grand final, and I looked at the analytics of it and thought, oh well, that did well. So then a couple of days later, try and make a similar style video and it flops, and you think, well,
it's so hard to do. Yeah, unless you've just got one. So I had El Burrito Monster on here. Ollie, I don't know if you've seen him. He basically just makes loads of burritos.
Yeah,
he's back garden, and he just cuts the hump.
Ollie's class, but he's always been honed in on this. So he's the smartest guy I've ever met.
Yeah,
he went to uni, did maths, but he's very big on algorithms.
Yeah.
Like he takes like little tips and tricks everywhere. But he's the only person that I know that has just got the algorithm to a T.
Constantly.
Yeah, whereas you like to sort of make what you want, don't you? Like, it's very varied, your channel, which I quite like.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, 1 minute I can be making a video about football, next minute I'm making a video about my life, next minute I'll post a random COD clip because I thought it was cool, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think because that was one of the things that I wanted. I didn't want to be known as, I know like these TikTok experts and everything say find a niche, but like I don't want to do that, do you know what I mean? I want to be known for being who I am, sort of thing.
Yeah, of course.
And you're not trying to make a career out of it, are you? You're doing it just for fun, which is
hobby, innit?
The best way. Yeah,
that's what I did.
Like, don't get me wrong. If an opportunity came from it where I could make a career from it, I would jump at the chance.
100%.
But at the end of the day, I am just.
I've said this many times. Like, I don't agree with many things in life, but if you put a big enough money in there,
well, TikTok, the pay from TikTok's very little, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's changed recently. So it used to be called the Creator Fund, and you used to get paid like so many pence per thousands of views. And they've recently brought in the Creativity Programme. It's only in beta at the minute, and I think it's only in certain countries, so like the UK, Australia, USA, and they've massively increased the amount of money that you're getting paid, but it's only for minute-long videos.
I know.
So you might have noticed your favourite creator making minute and one.
TikTok,
there was one that I saw. You have to have 10k followers as well. So there was one that I saw. So it's a DJ or an MC that I followed since I was like 17, and he's really big on TikTok now. It's called Winder Kid, and he did a video when it was all going off about you creators doing 1 minute, and he said, "Oh yeah, so just been told about a minute long videos, but I'm never gonna do this." And he sat there in a pub and he starts eating a packet of crisp. I mean, he checks his watch and goes 1 minute and then turns it off. Yeah. And I'm like, fair enough.
But it's worth it because, like, I'll be totally honest with you, me. So that video with Junior running off of my leg, I got paid like £7.49 for that video.
For $2.5 mil?
For $2.5 mil,
that was on YouTube?
250,000 likes. Yeah.
Looking at 2.5k.
Now, the one where I went to Old Trafford with Junior, that's only on like 20k views, and I've already been paid about £15 odd for that video.
That's mental. So it just shows, doesn't it, where... Well, I suppose they kind of had to do that because...
See, I've hit over 100k views on some of my videos on TikTok.
Yeah, I've had a couple, but I'm not...
I've only got about 3,000 followers, so...
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm...
There are a few stipulations to it, like you say, you have to have 10k followers, things like that, but... It's a massive step forward for TikTok, really, because, as I said, the money they was paying for videos in the past is like...
Shocking, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, TikTok was always used as a way to grow and get to a platform and then move into YouTube.
Move on to YouTube or, yeah.
Is that something that you're interested in doing? Or?
Definitely, really. I would like to get into YouTube, but it just scares me having to have all this equipment and, the time.
You need to, I think. Because there's quite a few YouTubers that I watch where you can, if you've got a phone...
You're laughing.
Get a lapel mic, you can do whatever you want. Like, it's just the same. Like, just because all these other people have got these big fancy sort of setups, you don't always like
You get to that over time, don't you?
Yeah. Compare this setup to Joe Rogan, to any other podcast. It's astronomical.
Yeah.
But this works for me. Like, I know it like the back
It's
of
what
my
you
hand.
need, everything you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to get into like long form vlogs and stuff because, like, if you look at my TikTok channel, a day in the life of an amputee footballer, it's literally like, first we had training, then we did this, then we did that, then we did this, and that's the whole minute of just saying that, whereas, like...
You want to show your personality, don't you?
Yeah, the conversations that you're having with people, and, as I mentioned on the break, my mate Jacko, he used to do vlogs, and we always marvel him for bringing the vlogs back, but there's, like, spontaneous conversations that happen throughout the day that are really quite funny, do you know what I mean?
Of
So...
course.
Well, you don't
that's
get
what happened
that
with
in a
Ben
minute.
Foster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Ben Foster just astronomical because you can see behind the scenes of a professional football.
Even the vlogging in the back of the net, though. To have a camera in the net is...
That'd be great. But are you allowed as a striker to say, "Are you keeper? Just gonna put this in the goal just in case I score a hat trick." So
they put a GoPro on our goalie Ake. So our goalie Thomas Atkinson. If you look at the EA for TikTok page, I think the video's called Being Aki or something, and he's just screaming, yeah, and it's like proper funny, and they put a GoPro on him in training once, and then the head coach came over and was like, take that off now. So
I mean, that's a problem, innit? When you get management they don't want to do it. It's all good fun and games for us, but when management gets involved, it's definitely a no. Which is always a shame. But yeah, I definitely think you should 100, because all you need is, you don't even need a camera if you just have your phone.
Yeah.
And then all you need is, 10-minute long video?
Yeah.
It's like you say, you got to start somewhere, aren't you? You were the same. We were mentioning before. You had literally, you started off with one camera, didn't you? One phone.
One camera. The camera was awful. I spent like 150 quid off it from Argos, and mate, you couldn't even. It had about 4
It don't matter,
pixels.
does it? It's just about getting your name out there, isn't it?
But we've got ideas, like me and a few of my mates at England. We've got ideas for make videos, like when you see these like challenges where it's like crossbar challenge and things.
Yeah,
like
little
that,
things like that.
Now that would be perfect, and then also. All you need to do is just make 20-minute long video and cut it up into... You got 20 TikToks out of it. Mm-hmm. So you doubling up on content, aren't you? That's what most people like. Podcast clips do mental on TikTok now. Yeah. It's just another avenue of just pushing it out.
Yeah. I reuse a lot of content as well and stuff because I read something once where it was like... Say I've got 98,000 followers and I post a video that gets 10,000 views, then effectively there's like... 80,000 of my followers who have not seen that video, do you know what I mean? So, like, the lads wind me up about reposting stuff all the time, but I think it works, do you know what I mean? So
of course. Yeah. When do you ever go down your followers on TikTok? I'm on For You, no matter what.
Yeah, I am.
Exactly, yeah.
I never click follow. Is it following? I think it's called.
Following, yeah.
Yeah, never.
I don't even know who I follow.
Yeah.
Like, the ones that I watch all the time, I don't think I follow them. Like,
follow me, don't you?
Yeah, I actually do follow you. I do follow you, my mate.
but I'm now private. No more Norwich fans abusing me anymore.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things though when you said about like why does TikTok in general do so well and stuff. It's because it's never ending, isn't it? Like
I spend so much time on TikTok.
You'll never find the end of the FYP, will you? It's just goes and goes.
Yeah, I've got, but I mean, they know what I said this for a lot of times. My TikTok for you page knows me better than my girlfriend knows me.
Yeah.
Like it'll go from like dog video football channel.
It's the most random shit, isn't it? Though?
Then cricket, and then boxing, and then it'll have like a vlog like Mitch Tucker. Like me and Mitch Tucker, I feel like I'm his best mate. I've never met him.
It's the most random shit.
I love it when that happens, when something comes up and you think, why have I never seen this before? Do you know what I mean? And there's this guy called Sam Sulek, and he's a proper bodybuilder. He is huge, this American guy. And I just find myself sat there watching what he eats in a day.
Carry on. Yeah. And you just get sucked into a hole, don't you? It's like the old school YouTube holes where, remember, during first lockdown, I watched some videos.
How long is it going to be until his ads on TikTok, though?
Well, there's already a few ads.
Not properly, though. Do you like on YouTube now? You can't get out of it, can you? They constantly...
Yeah, well, is it a Chinese company that own it?
I think so, because there was all that thing with them being in court in America and stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah. So I think that's probably stunting.
It's going to come into it, though.
Oh, ads are coming, definitely.
You'll do one video and it'll come up ad, another one ad, and that's what it'll get to eventually.
But the creativity programme with the payouts and stuff we were just on about, they're already pushing towards that longer format thing, hasn't they? Because at first it was just 15 to 60 second long videos.
Yeah.
Then it was 3 minutes. Now you can do 10-minute videos, do you know what I mean? So they're always pushing
live
for that.
streams as well on TikTok as well, isn't there?
I love live streams. There's one, I'm going to shout it out because I love this guy. Have you seen Spudman?
No.
Mate, he literally, he's from he's from the Midlands, and all he does is he has like one of them pop up like vans, sells jacket spuds for a living.
If you watch it.
Oh, do you know what? I think, has he got like a purple mohawk?
Yes, I love Spudman. I watch when I'm like today I was working. I watched him from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I watched his shift.
Yeah.
If you're watching Spudman, get in touch.
I'd love Spudman on here. I'd travel to you. I'd love to.
But he's completely open and honest as well, isn't he? Like where I just said about the pay for TikTok videos, he'll tell you how much a spud costs and how much it costs him and his running
bookers
costs.
Trips. Yeah. Oh my god, I know bookers like the back of my hand. I've never been.
Yeah.
It's mint. Like it's just not. The thing I like about TikTok as well is it's just normal people.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, and you just. You get to know them, don't you? Like sometimes with these sort of like big YouTube productions, like the Sidemen.
Yeah.
Like they've got a team. They've got a bigger budget than BBC.
It's a bit ridiculous, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. Whereas a guy who makes jacket spuds and films his journey, love it. Like someone like you, just going, not even a professional athlete, just go into a game, showing what.
I suppose it's like people like Angry Ginger, isn't it? He's a genuine normal guy, isn't he? That just wants to do clips in his bedroom. And
I think there's some class content to be made as well with like us and like the Sidemen and stuff like that. You know, like and football videos we could make with them and stuff. You know, there was actually Billy Wingrove and Jeremy Lynch. They went down to an England camp a couple of years ago and did some filming with. Jamie Oakey, the lad who messaged me and said come and play for Everton, did some filming with him and it was class content. Do you know what I mean?
Ben Foster would be the sort of guy as well. You can imagine he seems like a dead down to earth guy, Ben Foster, doesn't he?
Well, I feel really bad. I can't remember his name now, but his name's Mark something. Is the other goalie for Wrexham?
Oh, Mark Foster. He follows me on Instagram. I tried to get him on here. I got in, but I messaged him at the wrong time. I messaged him when it was currently season, and then he grew. Yeah, so the Yours, Mine and Away podcast, they follow me on Instagram. Yeah. I've spoken to him a few times. Really nice fella.
Yeah. Mackie's just been on his podcast. I don't know when it's out, like, but he's just been on there.
It's mental, isn't it? Like, and that's just a case of, he thought, let's do a podcast about goalkeepers. Let's focus it on just this group of people.
Yeah.
Which I love. I don't blame him. I mean, we were alluding to a story, and I think we'll end on it in the break, because you bigged this up.
Yeah. He did massively.
Yeah, and there's a story about a trophy going missing.
Yeah.
Was this for England or for Everton?
It was for England, so we went to the Nations League in Poland in June, and we was in Group A of the Nations League. It works very similar to the mainstream Nations League, so we're in Group A, the top division. We had Poland, Turkey and Spain in our group, which was...
Group of Death.
Group of Death, yeah. And we won the whole lot. Like, we beat Turkey 1-0 in the first game. They hadn't lost a game since 2018, and that was the World Cup final on penalties.
Was that to Angola, what we were referring to?
To Angola.
I feel like I know Amputee Football now.
Well in there
Before that, they hadn't lost a game in open play since 2014.
Nice. And you did them over.
We beat them 1-0.
It's coming home. Get in there.
We had Poland, the hosts, in the second game. We beat them 2-1. And then we had Spain and we beat them 1-0.
Is that in that stadium you had on the video as well?
Yeah.
So there's Polish fans watching. That's brilliant.
It was,
Brilliant.
It was like being behind enemy lines.
How many fans were there, roughly?
I'd be lying if I said to guess a number, but there was a few hundred fans
quite a lot
there.
there.
100?
Yeah. There was definitely a few hundred fans there, and they love it. They're all shouting Polska.
I don't blame them. Get involved.
But we won this trophy. It was the Nations League trophy. It was England's first major trophy. England amputees since 1990. And anyway, we gets on the plane, comes home. Every single one of us is hugging this trophy on the way home. And then when we got back to England, Manchester Airport, the staff had to take the thing. And then a couple of days went by, and then we started getting messages in the WhatsApp groups and on the England socials. Someone had put the trophy down and drove off in the car.
No!
What, at the airport?
At the airport. They'd put the trophy down, got in the car, drove off, and then by the time they'd got home and realised the trophy was gone, they was phoning Manchester Airport. They went back to Manchester Airport, and this trophy was gone. So a few days went by, and United invited us to theirs. It was United Crystal Palace for the League Cup. They invited us there to showcase the trophy.
You didn't have it?
You didn't have a trophy?
Didn't have the trophy. Well, anyway, somehow it was reported to the police because we'd been in contact with Manchester Airport and everything, and a guy in Stockport had it. So the police turned up at his door and got it back.
Just took it home.
How did they know he shot on cameras?
They'd got the CCTV of the reg of his car and tracked him.
Just took a trophy home.
That's a big deal. That. I mean,
but imagine how awkward that is. Sorry, mate, you've stole the disability team's
was it?
trophy.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
My suitcase, fucking hell.
Yeah.
So you got it back just before you went to United?
Got it
then?
back just in
What
time.
would you have done? Just took a different trophy?
Well, we had a
Spending with
replica. Yeah, so we had a replica, and we was going to take the replica because what happens is with the Nations League trophy, you have to give it back at the next tournament. So
you have a replica you can keep in.
So we would have been okay. We would have took the replica, but the trophy is actually in the Museum of Football now. I think is it in Salford?
Yeah, Manchester, middle of Manchester, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just outside of the train station at Victoria.
That's class how it's there though, because there's some proper good memorabilia in that museum.
Jim White's tie's in there. Do you know the yellow tie?
Yeah.
I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my head. But
all the shit that's in that museum.
there's like Maradona shirts and stuff. But Jim White's. When I went, I was like,
Pele's shirt, Jim White's tie.
I literally went, it's Jim White's tie. You know, it's grass.
That's mental.
It's in there now with a bit of a presentation and stuff like that. So
are you? Is there like a picture of the team in there as well?
I don't know. I've not been and looked myself, but
you've got to go and have a look and see. If not, just take a picture of you and just stick it up.
Yeah.
I can't believe someone nicked it though.
Yeah.
I know.
That's mental, and they found him. I can't believe they even found him though. That's some going, that, isn't it?
That is some going.
Imagine you get a knock on your door.
And we was all fuming, like, I'm not going to name no names, but we was all going, like, on about the staff. If that was us players, we'd be dead.
So one of the staff members that was meant to take it with them, and he forgot it. Yeah. Oh, imagine.
That's bad. It is.
How would you forget the main thing?
Yeah, but it's like, when, was it Ramos a few years ago?
He dropped it
and got ran
off
over.
the team bus.
Yeah.
Ran over.
Happens,
Zinchenko knocked a Premier League trophy over on the pitch, didn't he?
He did, I remember that.
Yeah.
He didn't lose it, did he?
No,
he didn't lose it.
He didn't drive off in a car and forget it.
Do you know what? They're going to rate me for saying that, but it's the truth, so...
That's what happened, didn't it?
Yeah. Perfect. Well, should we have some... I want to have some final sort of like quick fire questions on there. I mean, you shout out a lot of names, but who's best player you play with?
Reece Ramsden's best player I play with.
Reece Ramsden?
Yeah.
And best player you played against?
Best player I've played against, Jamie Tregascus. So he plays for England as well.
Nice.
But he plays for Portsmouth in the league and hardest player you've ever played.
Do you have like a golden boot and stuff in the league? And things like that?
Yeah, so scored the most goals in the season, golden glove, most clean sheets, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Is there like so in sort of like traditional football, is there a striker you think you play similar to, or?
I don't know if there's a striker that I play similar to, but there's a striker called Dave Tweed. He's 47. He was 47 this year. He won't like me telling you that, but he's basically one of the guys who set up EA for as a charity. So when I said we got dropped by the FA, he was basically the one who stuck around and said, like, you know, we're going to make this happen. And you know, we all joke and say he's Mr. England, and like when there's an award given out at presentation night, we joke and call it the Dave Tweed Award because he always wins it. Do you know what I mean? He's unreal. He's scored over 100 goals for England in major competitions, and you know, like he's definitely
a legend.
Definitely a legend, and he's someone who will look at as like, you know, I'm never going to be like him, but like I like to base my game a lot around him because when we play together at Everton and stuff like that, you know, all the players have been great and helpful, but because I play in the same position as
It's different level, isn't it? Yeah.
And the thing is, like, with there being no offside, as we mentioned before, like, it's completely different to get your head around. You know, runs that you would be making in mainstream football to stay onside, you don't have to worry about it. It's just go and stand behind the defender, do you know what I mean?
Of course, you need to. It's a completely different tactic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a completely different tactic. What's best stadium you played in? Or best pitch you played on?
St George's Park, so we played in, don't know
one.
if you saw the indoor arena, I think it's called the Sir Alf Ramsey Arena, something. Played on there twice, so for City last year in the FA Cup, won that. Everton this year with the FA Cup, won that, so...
100% record.
I feel like that's got a bit of a close place in my heart.
It's got to be there, definitely. Yeah. And then, so if you had to choose like one dream, whether that's content or in football, what's like that one, what the next goal you're aiming towards?
I think the dream would be to win like the World Cup with England sort of thing, do you know what I mean? So that's the main dream, but content wise I just want to get my story out as much as I can, you know. I want to raise as much awareness about amputee football and stuff, and as we mentioned, it's not a professional sport, we don't get paid, but you know, if we could have the backing of someone who'd give us a large enough sponsor where we wouldn't have to go out doing fundraising and stuff like that, that'd be massive. And you know, we have a junior camp, so we have literally kids from the age of 6 to 16 who are all amputees, and you know, I look at them and I think, if not just me but us as players, if we can leave this sport in a better place for them when they're older, you know, I think that's the dream.
That's all you need to do. You've won then, haven't you?
Yeah, I might not be a professional in my career, but you know, there's nothing saying that they won't be.
I mean, you're not a professional by name, but I suppose what you've achieved
by nature,
is
definitely.
to have won a trophy with England, leave it at the airport and go. You know, no, but joking aside, to win silverware with England, play for a team like Everton, you may not be classed as a professional, but you are in many ways.
Like,
I think so.
Still very early on in my journey with England. Like, I've only been playing this sport 2.5 years. You know what I mean? And like, although I was part of the squad who won the Nations League with England, you know, I really want to push on, and you know, I don't want to be like, oh, that's that box ticked and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I want to be like on the pitch next time, and I actually said to my partner Becca on the way down, you know, like, I get quite emotional thinking about the first time I start. And I said, like, you know, singing the national anthem, like, when you stand in the middle of the pitch singing that, instead of being stood on the sideline singing it.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine what it's like. That's a surreal moment.
Do you get, like, caps and stuff?
Yeah, so we will get caps, so we won't get, like, so when we was at the World Cup last year, we didn't get, like, an individual cap for every game we played. We'll just get one cap to signify that tournament,
What have you got, where is your cap?
It's at home on me on mantelpiece.
Is it on mantelpiece?
Of course it is.
No, man's like the most, like, obviously apart from family and, you know, kids and stuff like that, like, that's the most important thing to me, because I played football all my life growing up, and you know, that was the dream when I was a kid, do you know what I mean? So to go through what I've been through and still earn caps for my country is massive, really.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, I don't want to like dumb it down and say that, like, when we won the Nations League, that wasn't important to me, because it was very important to me.
Of course.
But I want to be more involved next time.
And there was some party after that game, weren't there?
Well, do you know what? We actually celebrated by going KFC.
It's a party we want.
Honest to God.
That's what we want.
Honest to God, we finished, we got in the changing rooms and we said, like, you know, we're going to go for a drink and all that, and staff wouldn't let us have a drink. To be fair to staff, I feel like I've slagged staff off a lot on this.
Give me a bit of
But to be fair, they put a big party on for us when we got home and stuff, do you know what I mean? But they said that while we was wearing England kits and stuff, you know, because we are a charity, we don't want to be seen.
No, that's like a respect kind of thing.
Yeah. So a bargain bucket is more
so
than
we were sat there in this meeting,
like
and
popcorn chicken.
He was like, you know, you're not having a drink, so I piped up and said, well, can we have KFC for our tea then? And he was like, then. Yeah. So we was literally...
Imagine a cheer.
Yeah. There was like 10 of us all sat round this table in KFC, and I just looked round and I said, we've just won a European major trophy and we sat here eating KFC.
Trophy middle at table.
Class. Do you want to shout out your socials as well? So is it...
Yeah, so it's
Lee and Burbs?
It's Lee and Burbs on all the same accounts. Instagram and TikTok are my main things, really. So
excellent. Well, it'll all be linked in the description as well. And then Ciaran, shout out your social there quickly.
At Man City News now, up the Blues.
Up the Blues as well. Definitely. And it'll all be linked as well in the description. But massive thank you for coming all the way here.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, because like I said, you know, even I didn't know about this sport before I started playing it, and I'm an amputee, do you know what I mean? So any chance I get to talk about it and raise awareness can only be good for the game.
100%. Really appreciate it. Well, if you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to the No Minutes episode. Chasing 400 subscribers. I'm nearly on 500 across both platforms. I'm really
And click the bell, don't forget the bell.
Click the bell, make sure you never miss. Follow me on my socials as well. Make sure you show Liam some love for coming all the way down here. If you're on Spotify, give me a 5-star review. It really, really helps push this podcast out to fellow people. So thank you very much. And we shall see you in the next episode.